Hey, you beautiful twin flames, and welcome back to Tarot for You 444. I'm so excited to have you with me today because I want to talk about a few little things and then do a divine masculine and feminine check-in. I want to check in with both people, and we're going to use the Tarot of Sexual Magic today because I feel like there's kind of this split. Well, look at that, another card. There are no accidents. We have the Six of Wands. Victory. And then I'm getting that song. I'm just going to go straight into it today. So if you need me, I'll quickly just say, go down into the description box below. I now have a twin flame system that works like a charm to bring your twin flame in. So if you are in separation and you want to be in union, please contact me and I'll have a chat with you over email. So anyway, we have this beautiful victory card here, denoting that, yes, there will be a victory, but it is up to you. Are you going to get on the horse and keep going? Or are you going to hop off the horse and say, I'm done with riding? That's kind of the scenario. And the song that's coming through is, his story never repeats. I tell myself before I go to sleep, right? Well, I could be wrong. I think it's a Crowded House song, which is an Australian band. But I think it's in my mind right now. I'm not completely sure if this is the case, but it's like a mockery, His story never repeats. I tell myself before I go to sleep. It's like this feeling that if I tell myself that things will be different, if I just ignore what's going on, ignore the cycles that I'm in, then maybe it won't happen again. A great example of that is what's going on in the world right now. Many people believe that, I'm not going to go into theories and things, but I'm just going to quickly mention that many people believe right now what's going on in the world is World War III occurring right before our very eyes. And it's this nuance that's going on within the twin flame journey as well, Many divine feminines and masculines thinking that if I just keep going the way I am, maybe that same shit won't keep happening to me. And the thing is that if you want something to change in your world, you have to make changes. That's the whole idea of ascension, is that we change. So, if you remember the movie Groundhog Day, and the guy keeps waking up and experiencing the same day over and over and over and over again. I also think there is a saying or a meme that says, if you keep doing the same things and want to see change, it's like, it's a weirdness. Like, it's like how people on earth, think that we can keep raping the earth and that the earth will still keep providing these things. I mean, some of these things in the earth that we take from the earth, are only made one time. So once they're gone, they're gone. So the same things going on in the twin flame journey for many of you are staying in the same cycle. Why hasn't my twin flame shown up for me? And many divine feminines think they're giving themselves this self-love when in actual fact they're kind of pretending. They're kind of faking it until they make it, which it doesn't work because it's ingenuine. And so the divine masculine keeps showing up in the same way over and over again. And that's a really harsh thing to say, but it's the truth. And then the cycle comes that, the divine feminine keeps trying and trying and trying and trying and trying and trying and trying, and she gets, maybe she gets a little bit of a response from the divine masculine, or maybe she doesn't, but she ends up getting frustrated, and some divine feminines say, well, bugger off, buddy. You're not giving me anything to go on in terms of the union. And so then the divine feminine can leave the journey. So I really can feel the frustration in the air at the moment from many divine feminines who think, look, all I'm getting is breadcrumbs. I'm only getting breadcrumbs. I'm getting frustrated. I'm working on myself, and it's this constant, some divine feminines are actually genuinely working on themselves, but some divine feminines are kind of in this state of, well, I'll just go to work and I'll just do what I want to do, and that'll bring him in. But it's not enough, because this is a soul-to-soul connection. So the question begs then, and I'll get into the reading very shortly, but the question also begs then is that how you treat yourself is basically the norm for how others will treat you. So if you're neglecting yourself in some kind of way, is there any wonder that the people around you are neglecting you in some kind of way? Does that make sense? Let's take a look at an example of that occurs in real lifetime that we can really see. And this with no judgment of homeless people at all. Most homeless people have been through, terrible things, and, some of them have issues that we cannot even fathom. And in my opinion, no one in the world should ever be homeless. I think it's a terrible thing, especially when we have people who are so rich that they could, house 10,000 homeless people. Like, to me, it just doesn't seem, we've got our priorities wrong, but that's my opinion. Anyway, so if we take a look at homeless people, and we notice how in some countries homeless people are treated with the utmost disrespect. People literally walk by with their expensive shoes in their bags that they've just bought from a store, and a homeless person might be asking for money, and they just walk on by. Now, you could argue, well, maybe they're going to use it for drugs, or maybe they're going to use it for something else, but the thing is that they're homeless. They actually have no home. And I want you to imagine just for one moment, that you didn't have your home or wherever your place of residence is for one day. How would you feel? How would you look? Do you think you might be looking a little bit disheveled if you didn't have a shower to jump into every day or enough food to eat? And so these people become economically a burden on society. But if we're coming from a heart-spaced way, most of them have a turmoil going on inside of them that would be unbearable, really difficult to come to terms with. Where's my next meal coming from, they might say. I'd really like a shower. I'm not feeling, they might even say they're not feeling well. Now, I invite you to camp out with friends or with your family, maybe not with small children, but I invite you to camp out for one night, either on a boiling hot evening or on a freezing cold night, and see how you fare, and then try and judge the homeless after that. because I can guarantee you that you will have a lot more compassion. Now, many homeless people tell themselves the story that they're not good enough, or they did something wrong, or they're, for some of them, they are mentally unwell because of circumstances as well. But the way they're treating themselves, because they have no choice about it, because they don't have money at this time, many of them don't have money, and that's why they are homeless. The way they treat themselves, you notice how people on the street also treat them the same way? It's like a mirroring effect that goes on. They think they're not good enough, so society thinks they're not good enough. They're begging for money. Society sees them as being beggars. They have mental health issues going on and trauma. And so the stigma of mental health issues and trauma also reflects outside of them, that people think that about them. So I want you to consider this carefully for your own twin flame union. What are you saying about yourself that's being reflected back to your masculine? Because whatever you're telling yourself on some level goes into the soul and is felt by your masculine. So if you go back to that time where you felt amazing, #amazing, and your divine masculine was coming in and talking to you and it was complete bliss, compare that to the time where he's not coming in and how you're treating your own self. Are you allowing your twin flame to give you breadcrumbs? Are you waiting by the phone for that message that's coming and allowing breadcrumbs? You know what I mean? So if you're allowing breadcrumbs, your twin flame will give you breadcrumbs. If you're thinking that you're not so hot yourself, then guess what? Your twin flame's thinking about you. So it kind of deciphers into whatever you're doing to yourself will be reflected in the outer world by what your twin flame does. So let's get into the reading now and see what's going on with the feminine and see what's going on with the masculine and how the mirroring is going on. Because this is a really hard thing for people to understand within the twin flame journey. They go, well, hang on a minute, everything was going fine, and then all of a sudden he disappeared. And so I'm telling you that something you did, whether you realize that on a conscious level or not, is why he did disappear. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Wands in reverse. It's this, I'm trying not to be exhausted. This came up in reverse. I'm trying not to be exhausted. For both twins. I'm trying not to be exhausted. And then we also have the Chariot in reverse. There's not much movement going on. There's the idea of movement and that we want movement, but not too much is going on. And so let's see what's going on with Divine Feminine at first. The 10 of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and the 9 of Pentacles. Wow, that's really interesting in her thinking space. I'm going to focus on money. I'm not going to show any interest. I'm going to focus on myself. Plain as day. The focus on herself is quite strange though, because she's holding the heart here. There's still that energy of, I wonder if he's going to text me. I wonder when he's going to call. I wonder when he's going to decide that I'm his. So it's this, I'm just going to be single in my mind, with the whole idea of I hope he comes to get me soon. So it's this, I'm doing fine in my life, but I still need to be rescued. You see how she's in the pose of, she's submitting to the journey, and I'm not going to use that yucky word of detachment because you know I don't like it, but surrender would be a better word. Surrendering, but then she's still waiting for him to kind of come and save her. And it's this waiting energy of, you know, my legs are getting sore while I'm waiting. It's getting tiresome. And as she starts feeling tiresome, over here and what he's giving will be tiresome. So whatever you're feeling about the journey, feeling about yourself, is what's going to be reflected over here. And I'll prove it to you because we've got, let me just quickly reiterate here for the Divine Feminine, she is, I'll just focus on my money, but I'm kind of hanging around still waiting to be saved. And so the Divine Masculine shows up with a little bit of interest here. Because Divine Feminine is working on her career or working on her money, or her, perhaps if she's not working on money, it might be some hobbies that she likes. He feels this passion, but the passion here is unbalanced. It's teetering. We have the Temperance in reverse because she's not quite got herself together. She's still mixing the potion of bringing him in. See that? And so then we have the Hermit in reverse. An interesting card because even though he wants to come out of hermit mode, he's kind of going, well, maybe the time isn't quite right. Maybe she just needs a little bit more time. Maybe I need a little bit more time. Maybe it's not the right time. So you see how it translates. What she's doing over here is translating over to the Divine Masculine. I think that I'm going to continue these readings so that we can understand the translation of what she's doing to what he's doing, so it can make some more sense for you. So Divine Feminine is feeling the lack of love. You know, he's not coming in with this love that I need. There's her imagination in the background under the moon. You know, I want him to love me to the moon and back. But I'm not getting it. It's all in my mind. And then the feeling might be that, you know, maybe it's cursed. Maybe we're not meant to be. Maybe it's not possible in this lifetime. And then we have the moon. Wow. And the moon is this integral energy of, you know, there must be more to it. There must be some secret that I don't know about. There must be some, you know, it's so frustrating. It's like she wants to yell at the moon, literally. You know, I can see us together. Why can't he? So in her thinking space, she's trying to be as logical as possible, but in her feeling space, she's longing for him. Okay, so this longing causes, wow, a non-interaction. There is a non-interaction now with the Knight of Swords here. And if there has been any interaction, it's been short, sharp, and sweet with not much. I could even say there could be a little bit of arrogance coming from the Divine Masculine towards the Feminine. Or he may perhaps be talking about the marriage he's in, or the situation that he's in, the karmic bond. But he's feeling like he's being watched. You know, her contemplation of the journey in her mind or in her feeling space as well is making him feel like, you know, everything I do is being watched. And what I say and what I do, and you know, he's kind of not sure now. You know, and in the past he may have been angry at the divine feminine in some way, even because over here we have the divine feminine questioning the connection. You know, is it gonna happen in her feeling space? I feel like it could happen, maybe it's not gonna happen. And so he goes in his feeling space, yeah, maybe it isn't gonna happen. Maybe there's too much going on here. We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Maybe we can't work it out. This is we can't work it out. Maybe there's too much going on in our lives that's in the way. I find it interesting here that her knees are pushed up against his chest. Wow. She's blocking her heart off without even knowing she's doing it. You know, I want to kiss you, but where have you been? I want to love you, but where have you been? I love you unconditionally, but you're not meeting my needs. Very interesting here. And so in her action space, she comes into this Four of Swords energy. I'm gonna just have to imagine it all. She's, you know, he's working, or it's a bad luck cycle for us right now. I'm just going to have to imagine that we're together. Like, that's all she's got right now, is the imagination. But with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, she does still say, you know, he's not coming in. It's this actual affirmation that she makes subconsciously. My divine masculine isn't coming to me. Now, when you think it, it becomes an affirmation, especially if you think it more than a few times. And of course, the universe wants to bring you what you want. And so what happens is the Wheel of Fortune becomes reversed. So all this desire and need for you becomes blocked. And I'll show you in his action space by what I mean. So this translates into, well, she's just gonna, you know, she's just needing some space right now. Energetically, the divine feminine's been pushing him away. She just needs some space right now. You know, there's a bit of a mess going on right now. I'll let her clean up her mess. I won't love her right now. Wow, I won't love her right now. Goodness me, that's a huge thing to say. I won't commit right now. We have the Hierophant and the Ace of Cups in reverse. Because the divine feminine is saying, well, all I've got now is my imagination. It can only happen in my imagination. he's too busy for me. It's not the right time. It's like divine timing isn't here. She tells herself all these stories. There's this constant story of why it won't happen. I'll go back to the homeless now and the story that they tell themselves. I mean, I don't know exactly because I haven't been in their mind, but imagine what they tell themselves, that they're no good, that perhaps they don't deserve to live somewhere nice, or they did something to deserve this. And this is exactly what's going on here for the divine feminine. And so it pushes the divine masculine away. And for many of you, it'll be in different scenarios. He might just be more interested in his karmic partner right now, or he might be taking more interest in his work. So I really feel that we need to understand how the story that we tell ourselves becomes so important, because the mind will take us on a million roads of misunderstanding. And of course the mind is attached to the ego, and the ego does a lot of things. It's judgmental of the self, and it's also judgmental of others. And this isn't a path of judgment. But the other point I want to make too is someone else isn't showing up in your life, whether this is your twin flame or not. If someone else isn't showing up in your life the way you want them to, then you need to change what's going on with you. Okay, it's all about staying high vibrational, which is why I made my ascension package. And once you know how to stay high vibrational and remain heart-based or in your heart space, then your vibration will attract other higher vibrations to you. So if you're sending out a needy vibration, the universe will keep you needing. If you're sending out a wanting vibration, then the universe will keep you wanting. Let's do some good ones now. If you're sending out a loving vibration, the universe will send you loving things. Okay? Now your twin flame is a little bit different, which is why I've made my courses, because they are you. So what you think about yourself and what you do with yourself is very important. And the spiritual journey denotes that you just be. Okay? So please contact me if you need more help with this. So let's just see if we can get a message from the divine masculine, because I know that many divine feminines are sad right now. The communication has been off or not coming in at all. So let's see what he wants to say. Because as you know, when the divine masculine wants to speak, my throat chakra goes a little bit cray-cray. Wow. I'm still really passionate about you. This is the Knight of Wands. This kind of passion can be fleeting though. So be aware. That's the kind of passion that, Friends with Benefits Charlie, I like to call that card. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. So the message now he wants to say is this: I don't know how to be fully open with you right now. I feel like you're ungrounded or unhinged in some kind of way, or that you're working upon yourself, or working on your job or your career or your crafts or something like that. And I'm not feeling the love like I have in the past. I do want to work on this, but I feel like you're unavailable right now. I feel like you're unavailable right now. Wow, that's huge. So as the divine feminine cuts herself off from the connection without even realizing she's doing it, by telling herself these stories that she tells herself, and this reading won't be for everyone, so don't get mad in the comments and say, but I am working on myself, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to help those people who are in separation right now. But you literally holding the strings like a puppet to your divine masculine, and I need you to understand that what you are telling yourself and how you are behaving to yourself and to others around you has a vibration that's energetic, and this energetic vibration goes out into the universe and will and it brings you back things whether you like it or not. That's the way the law of attraction works. And with your twin flame, what you do with inside of yourself matters, because you are the same soul. The biggest myth here is that they're over there and you're over here. In fact, you're both the same soul. So it's kind of like a double egg, a double yolked egg. When someone's frying the eggs and they see the double yolk, they split it in half so that they can give one to Arthur and one to Martha to eat. But they're still the same, aren't they? Now, your twin flame has a different mind and a different body to you, but the illusion is there. That's where the illusion is. The illusion is that you are separate. Now, if you take more time to go within, spend time with yourself, understand yourself more and more, inside of your heart space, especially if you open your heart space, you'll feel them with you all of the time, because they are you and you are them. So even if you're in physical separation right now, energetically, you're together all of the time. So that's a concept that I want you to really understand today. Whew, what a big reading. I had to really use my thinking cap today. But I am sending you all such a beautiful day. And if you've got questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section. Divine masculine having a hard time. That's why my throat chakra is playing up, because he can't understand why he feels blocked to come in. He just thinks something's going on with you and he should give you some space. Or if he is communicating with you, it's going to be this kind of wishy-washy in and out energy, because you're being wishy-washy yourself. So however your divine masculine is acting has a lot to do with you. Okay. Remember that Milli Vanilli song? Blame it on the rain, yeah, yeah. Blame it on the stars that did shine bright. But whatever you do, don't put the blame on you. The thing is, you have to blame yourself, but in a good way, because you are them. So get rid of the illusion that you are two separate people. You're not two separate people. I mean, in the 3D world you are, But this is a spiritual journey, and so to come into the understanding of you are one is a really hard thing for our minds to grasp. So put your mind in the corner and go back into the feeling of how it felt when you were with your twin flame in the beginning, the bliss, the bubble love, or whatever term you want to give it. The Ken and Barbie phase. Ken came back with no pants on, by the way, and he's hiding because we can't quite get his pants back on. So he's gone into hiding for now. That's just a little update if you were interested. Anyway, I'm sending you so many rainbows, unicorns, those helium balloons that go really, really, really high in the air, and I don't know, organic apples, virtual popcorn. We have to have chocolate, virtual chocolate. What else? I don't know, whatever your favorite food is. And lots and lots of love. Okay, because Divine Feminine, I know you need it right now. This has been a really hard journey, especially because of the world situation. You know, kind of like World War III going on right now in the world. Okay. If you're a spiritual guru, you'll know what I mean. Okay, or an empath. Or a light worker. You know what I mean. Have a beautiful day, night, afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world. And I'm sending you donkey kisses and Harry hugs and tacos from Charlotte and an evil stare. Not an evil stare, a cute little stare from Little Red Riding Hood. As you know, she kind of freaks me out a bit. Alrighty. Love you, love you, love you. Okay, if you need me, you can send me a long email. I love reading them. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.